Can you guys see that?
Oh, I think your mic's got a lot of feedback. Sorry, everyone. Moment of technical difficulty. To help us pass the time, Jared is going to perform a small interpretive dance.
Okay, can you guys see that? Is this okay?
Looks good.
Okay. So first, I'm gonna talk about the history of Christmas. Firstly, do you guys know what Christmas is exactly? Like, why do we celebrate it?
Someone said yes. Go ahead and tell us why.
Can you say the question again? Like, it's like echoing, so I can't hear. I can't hear because like there was an echo.
Oh, okay. I was asking you guys know what Christmas is or why do we celebrate it. Someone said Christ.
Yeah, but
That is
the
very
birth
large.
of Christ. The
Yes,
birth of
that's a very
Christ.
large. Yes, that's a very large part of the culture of it, like celebrating the birth of Jesus and such. Okay, so here's generally a brief history about Christmas. So yeah, in the end of the agricultural season and generally the start of the generally winter solstice has always been generally a time of like celebrating around the world. People wanting to celebrate the winter coming and doing stuff about celebrating them. They're like agriculture of like crops they can't grow in the winter, so they're just celebrating the end of that. And from like the Norse Yule and other people's holidays. So that way, then in the 14th century, Pope Julius I, he adopted and absorbed the traditions of like the pagan festival for like the Christmas, because he wanted to have some more tradition. He wanted to put in some tradition. So it's much more of a much larger celebration than was in the Christian community. But then after in the 17th century, a lot of people were changing their ideas about religion and stuff about Christmas. So they kind of canceled it or didn't like it anymore. Like for example, when the Pilgrims came to America, they had outlawed Christmas, which is not a really nice thing to like do. Something that no one wants to. No one would think they would have done. But yeah, when Christmas wasn't always originally a very large holiday in America because
Yeah.
like
They were fleeing religious persecution and then did it themselves. They were running away from it, and anyways.
Yep. Yes. So even after they had won the American Revolution, they didn't want to even celebrate Christmas because it was very much a British holiday, and they didn't want to do anything British, and that caused a lot of a long time where people didn't celebrate Christmas until it became a federal holiday in the United States in June 26, 1870, which was a very momentous occasion in time. So then Americans, they later on went to embrace and update the holidays, and bringing people from other cultures, immigrants bringing in their own cultures to celebrate Christmas and update it and change it, such as the Dutch Saint Nicholas or Santa Claus. They introduced that, and also Christmas trees until it became the holiday and traditions that we see in America today. So here's some activities that they celebrate during Christmas. Do you guys know any Christmas activities? Can you guys name any that you guys know about? caroling. Yes, that's a very large activity. Anyone else?
Do you know any songs? Oh, sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, you have any songs caroling. Yeah.
Some people will go to your house and knock the door and sing to you.
Yes. Do you have any like favorite Christmas songs that you like? Oh yeah, preparing food for Santa. Yes, that's a very large tradition inside in the program Christmas. Yes, for us. Yes, very much. So, and yeah, roasting chestnuts, jingle bells. Yes,
The Wells, yeah.
yes, that's a very good song. So first, I have building gingerbread houses, which is like what was previously said before, which is they stick together cookie pieces with frosting and decorate it with like candies, as you can see. It's very nice looking, and there's many great examples of architects like amazing using their skills and knowledge to make amazing houses. And it's also sometimes a very hard activity to do, putting the frosting, the cookies, and decorations together. It doesn't always stick, as you can see. Happens a lot. It's a very large trope that happens during the holidays when people are trying to build gingerbread houses. And the tradition of doing that was actually began in Germany in the 1800s, when it was like very much popularized by the fairy tale of Hansel and Gretel. Does anyone know the fairy tale of Hansel and Gretel? Yes. Can you give me a brief description or what you know about it?
So Hansel and Gretel's mom died because she was sick, and then his dad married another woman, and that woman was really bad to them. So like she told them to go away, and not stay at home. So like the first day, I remember Gretel put stones like around to the he put stone when they walked, so like he knows how to go back home. But like the second time, I remember he put bread, and all those bread was eaten by birds. So like they don't know how to get back home, and then they got to the gingerbread house.
Yes. A very big, house. Wouldn't it be amazing? Wouldn't you guys be surprised if you guys saw a giant, gingerbread house in the middle of the woods? Just seeing that, wouldn't you guys be like very excited and interested to like eat it all up? Okay. The next thing we have is decorating your house for the Christmas, which people do a lot with like amazing lights, inflatables, statues, as you can see. And also, people also decorate it inside with like trees and stockings and ribbons, snow globes and much more. And initially, the only decorations people had were like candles, where they would pin small candles to their Christmas trees, and with pins or wax, and also around the house. And it wasn't until like the 1880s when Thomas Jefferson he introduced the first like outdoor Christmas lights, that people had a different way of decorating with small light bulbs on a string, which very very much people liked a lot and very much wanted, but like not everyone was able to afford them, so they just had to use candles. And that was also kind of dangerous, because isn't it kind of dangerous to have a candles which like have fire on like a tree? Isn't that kind of dangerous to have around in your house or out somewhere? Aren't you scared it might burn? Which it really did. A lot of accidents happen where people's houses caught, people's trees caught on fire because they had like candles on them. And yeah, and there's also playing in the snow, where people build snowmen, make snow angels. They have snowball fights, like somebody said in the chat, and they build igloos and much more. Yeah, and then they also like skiing and snowboarding and sledding, ice skating, and a lot of more amazing things people like to do in the snow. Has anyone ever played in the snow or gone to the mountains to go sledding or anything like that? Oh, you like sledding? That's nice. Anyone else? Has anyone else ever been playing in the snow? Or can chime in on that? Yes.
Is there anyone who doesn't like the snow? No. Nobody. So I was born and raised in California, and I grew up in a desert in California, so it was always really hot. So whenever I go to somewhere where there's snow, it's too cold. So I don't do snow. It's really nice in movies though. I like it there.
Okay. Next thing we have is waiting for Santa, which is a very large tradition people have, where they leave out cookies and milk, and then a lot of kids, they try to stay up and camp all night to try to see Santa, but then they fall asleep and because they're little kids, and then they don't see Santa, and then Santa comes and just delivers them presents. And also, like, we have something in America which is quite interesting, where the U.S. government they actually have a Santa tracker, so they actually are able to see where he's going and see if he's gonna come to your house soon. Yes.
Me and my sister prepare food for Santa, and we also look at the Santa tracker. Yeah,
Wow.
it's so fun. The game. There's games.
Wow. Amazing.
Yeah.
Does someone else raise their hand? Yes. What food do you make? Yeah.
My mom makes cookies, handmade cookies, and my sister prepares milk. And I just look at it.
Okay.
Yeah, and we also write letters. I remember last year we wrote a letter to Canada's or Iceland's Santa Claus. Yeah, I remember we wrote letters.
Wow, that's very nice. Next thing we have is gathering with your family. Having a family visit and eating great foods and being grateful for each other. So similar to Thanksgiving. People coming to your house. Being thankful that you're here. Eating great food. Some stereotypical foods of Christmas are ham or mashed potatoes or turkey or prime rib or Brussels sprouts. Other stuff. Very similar. Again, very similar to Thanksgiving. They also like to exchange gifts and also do fun activities like the ones previously stated, such as playing in the snow or building gingerbread houses or just decorating their houses and such. Do you guys have any presents that you would like to have for Christmas? Any Christmas presents that you asked Santa to give you?
PlayStation.
Which one? Oh, Lego. Yes, very nice.
A bracelet.
Oh, bracelet. Yes, very nice. Yeah, that's Christmas and such. You guys have any holidays? I guess you already said it, but any other holidays where you guys gather with family? Except for maybe New Year's, and exchange gifts.
So if you could ask Santa for anything, what would you ask for? Like anything.
$1 billion.
Say it again.
$1 billion.
Okay. What else?
Minecraft?
$1 billion. Wow, that's a lot of money.
Do you want to
For
split
Minecraft.
that billion?
Give it to charity.
Oh, that's good. That's good. Helping people out. We love that.
So, I have. I think I'm passing on to Ryan.
Absolutely. So next, Ryan is going to talk with us a little bit about overall. We talked a little bit. We talked yesterday about how some of our holidays were impacted by COVID, but we want to talk a little bit more about how Christmas, especially because Christmas can be a really big holiday for people in the United States, and how that was impacted by Christmas. But we also kind of want to look at COVID overall, and I'll be following up with some information about schools and how that impacted us. But we also want to hear from you and your experiences. So be ready to jump into the discussion. Ryan, you're up.
Okay, let me get this.